Hello everyone, Foxy Games here. Welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV Full Story Playthrough. When we last left off, we learned some not-so-good news. Alphinaud and Tataru are being held as potential heretics, and it's up to us to do a ritual combat, a trial by combat that is, to ensure that they are released. Listen carefully, Foxy. When the trial begins, a petitioner will be asked to restate his charges, and the accused invited to respond. Then, in accordance with the law, they will be asked to restate their request for a trial by combat. Once the High Adjudicator acknowledges Mistress Tataru's right to name a champion, that is when you must make your entrance. Oh, I cannot wait to see the look on Sir Grinno's face when he sees his true opponent. It will be priceless. More seriously, should you begin to lose heart, look to me in the stands and I shall cheer so loud you will wonder how you ever could have contrived to doubt yourself. Now, are you ready? We are ready, Sir Oshfont. Lord Oshfont. Isn't he just the best?
We are gathered here today under the watchful gaze of the Fury to ascertain the guilt of 2 souls in a trial by combat. Petitioners, step forward. Sir Grinno, for the benefit of all here present, I would ask you to repeat the charges which you have leveled against this man and this woman.
I, Sir Grinno de Zemile, brother of the Heavens Ward, did bear witness to these 2 foreigners consorting with heretics.
Let the accused step forward. Alphinaud Leveilleur, Tataru, you have heard the charges leveled against you. Will you take up arms to refute Sir Grinno's claim, and thereby prove your innocence in the eyes of gods and men?
I, Alphinaud Leveilleur, am innocent of this charge, and claim my right to trial by combat.
I, Tataru, am innocent of this charge, but I am no warrior and cannot fight. So, I claim the right to name a champion.
To the old and the infirm, the young and the weak, this right we allow. Very well. Who will stand for this woman?
Well, of course, it's your girl, Foxy Games.
Just as I was beginning to doubt the efficacy of the Ishgardian justice system. Come, my friend. Let us put an end to this mummer's farce.
Let's see what this Heaven's Ward is made of.
O Helone, render unto us your judgment. Raise up the righteous, and cast down the wicked.
As you have no doubt guessed, you just have to beat the hell out of them. Well, what do we have here? This one is mine, Sir Grinno. Go play with the boy. Bloody waste of... Come on, then. You wanted this, remember?
I have my pride.
Here, Alphinaud, let me help you out a little. has been a while since I played on this character. Uh-oh, Alphinaud's in trouble. Also, this music is really good. Oh yeah, I have to beat the chain up. Hey Alphinaud, how about you don't stand in the AoEs?
Down with you!
No, we're good. Oh, I could hardly see it. Oh well. It's fine, I barely took any damage, and Alphinaud's healing me anyway. Yeah, these guys are not overly difficult, especially for a tank. And while Paladin deals the least damage, I believe, out of any tank class, they're really not bad.
It's over.
Down you go. So will they proclaim our friend's innocence now? I mean, we won. Indeed we did, Tataru. The Fury has spoken. Alphinaud Leveilleur, Tataru, you are hereby acquitted of all charges. Blessed are we who receive of her wisdom and see justice wrought by her divine hand. Petitioners accused, go forth in peace. They might be a little bit dumb, but they follow their own rules. Delivered from an untimely demise yet again. My thanks, as always. It was nothing, Alphinaud. Lord Oshfont, things just went swimmingly. I'm sure you were there watching. By the Fury, what a splendid victory! To see how you strove in the face of adversity, two brave young souls bound together by the puissant bonds of camaraderie. Why, it stirred me to the very depths of my soul. Having been treated to such a rousing spectacle, it seems only right that I present you with a humble token of mine admiration. Pray receive of me this chocobo whistle. With it you may summon a black chocobo, fully trained and ready to fly. And that is one pretty chocobo. Magnificent is she not? Strong yet sleek, elegant yet eager. What say you, Foxy? Will you take her for your steed? We sure will. Lord Oshfont, chocobos are prohibited in the Supreme Sacred Tribunal of Hellenic Inquisitory Doctrine. That's a mouthful. Your steed must remain outside. Well, at least he wasn't rushing over to tell us something dire. And that is that. And we have now unlocked the means to acquire flying in Heavensward content through ether currents. Okay. Yes, we know how this works. Though you, the viewer, may not. Basically, we're going to use this ether compass, which I believe is in my inventory. It's probably a key item. Yes. And that is going to tell me where the ether currents in the area are. And once I've collected all of them in an area, I can then fly there. But we'll go on that more when we get out to the field. Black chocobos are all well and good, but the true reward for your effort is the exoneration of your comrades. They shall be released upon completion of certain minor formalities, which I mean to see to personally. In the meantime, pray return to Fort Tom Manor. The Count has done so already, and will doubtless be eager to discuss the day's events. And we shall go immediately. I was not present at the trial, but Father told me of your performance. He said you were a wonder to behold. Are you trying to become the talk of the city? Because if you are, you're doing an admirable job of it. How about you, Honoro? Anything to say? It brings me joy to see you in good health, Mistress Games. Well, aren't you pleasant? Count Edmund. Halone smiles on us yet again, Mistress Games, guiding you to victory and setting your comrades free. I confess I did fear for your safety, which is not to say I doubted your prowess, you understand. I merely knew the strength of your opponents. You do have a habit of exceeding my expectations. Besting 2 of the Heavens Ward while the city's elite looked on. By the Fury, anyone who hasn't been paying attention to you will surely do so from now on. That could be good or bad. Especially seeing as we apparently have some enemies here. My lord. We have just received a message from the vault. His Eminence, the Archbishop, requests the presence of Mistress Games. An invitation from the Archbishop? What an honor. Could also be a trap. A personal summons is indeed a great honor, and given recent events, he would be wise not to delay. Go, Mistress Games. We shall speak anon. A priest will be waiting for you outside the vault. Identify yourself to him, and he will escort you inside. Well, this could either be very good or very bad. Let's hope for the former. Do not worry about Master Alphinaud and Mistress Tataru. We will tend to them when they return from the tribunal. Nope, nope, nope. Oh, okay. Well, let's go see what the bishop wants. The vault. It's huge. It's towering. I can't even look up and see the most of it. We are honored to receive you, Mistress Games. This way, please. Now, the last time we saw this Archbishop, he appeared to have the ear of 2 Asians. La Habrea and, potentially, Elidibus.
Your Eminence, it is my honor to present to you the Warrior of Light.
Sir Emmerich, I hope you put in a good word for us.
I have heard the tales of your many grand endeavors. The Lord Commander has also been most effusive in his praise.
Apparently he has.
I am Thorin VII, Archbishop of the Ishgardian Orthodox Church, and I bade you come here that I might offer my personal apologies. You will forgive me for not calling upon you as courtesy would dictate. But, as you can see, my more sprightly days are long behind me. But I digress. Your companions were wrongly accused of heresy and subjected to gross indignities. This, I am sorry to say, was the result of negligence on the part of our nation's protectors. Negligence born of an excess of zeal. Is that not so, Sir Zephyrin?
Ah, so he's not any happier with him than we are.
Your Eminence. Regrettably, it would appear that we of the Heavens Ward were in receipt of erroneous information.
Oh, no shit.
Sir Grino has ever been headstrong. He pressed charges before the truth had been ascertained, for which I most sincerely apologize.
An unfortunate misunderstanding born of an earnest desire to serve Ishgard, but one which should never have occurred. For who could doubt the character of those who bested Shiva and drove the Horde from the steps of faith? Not I. That much is certain. That will be all, Sir Zephyrin. I would speak with our guest in private.
Your Eminence? As you wish, Your Eminence. That will be all for today.
Yeah, go have some humble cake. Not you, though. You're great.
Privacy is a luxury rarely afforded one in my position. Now tell me, young lady, what do you know of the Ascians?
Just gonna come right out and ask the question, are you?
Much and more, I shouldn't wonder. Being the bringer of light. You should know that I myself have met with them. Have entertained them as guests, even. Those harbingers of chaos and strife offered us power, that we might continue our war against the dragons. I have no intention of aiding their cause, of course, nor less of being their puppet. Yet, were I to refuse them outright, I should learn naught of their true objectives and remain powerless to stop them. Thus have I hearkened to their words with interest and paid lip service to their beliefs, biding my time and preparing for the inevitable conflict.
You're trying to play the Ascians. That might work, but it might also be a terrible idea.
And why do I tell you this? Because there is naught in this world they fear more than the power of the warrior of light. If we are to rid ourselves of these vile interlopers, we must needs work together. With our combined strength, I have faith that we can wrest Eorzea from their grasp and pave the way for a lasting peace. Think on it.
Well, he seems agreeable. At the very least, we have a common enemy. Now let's just hope he's not playing us, instead of playing the Ascians. Ah, our friends are back. Tataru. I nearly cried when you stepped forward to the tribunal, Foxy. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, it's okay, Tataru. How you holding up, Alphinaud? You took kind of a beating out there.
There you are. I confess, I was more than a little concerned when I learned that you had been summoned to the vault. What did they want with you?
Nothing bad, apparently.
Well, well. A formal apology and an admonishment of those responsible. I see my fears were wholly misplaced. By the gods! The Archbishop freely admits to consorting with Ascians. So, their ambitions extend to Ishgard as well. We will have new primals to contend with ere long, of that you may be certain. 'Tis but a matter of time. Yet shorn of the support of our missing allies, what can we realistically hope to achieve?
Ah, but we've got new allies.
In the midst of all the excitement, I completely forgot to tell you. When I was asking around about the Scions, I heard the most awful rumor. General Rauban is to be executed for crimes against the Sultanate!
If the Flame General dies, we will lose a staunch ally, and the one man capable of holding the Sultana's assassins to account. Lord Orchiffon was wise to counsel restraint, but this business will brook no delay. We cannot permit this execution to take place. We must save Rauban.
What's left of him, anyway? Last we saw, he was minus one arm. But we're not gonna leave our boy Rauban hanging, that's for sure. Gods, I hope we're not too late to save General Ralban. I should have told you sooner, about the execution, I mean. But with the trial and everything... well, who could blame you? Though the situation calls for urgency, it would avail us little to charge headlong into Ul'dah without a plan. Before we can formulate a plan, however, we must first learn how things stand in the Sultanate. Which is why I propose we visit Limsa Lominsa. You heard me right. While you were about your altruistic endeavors, I acted as an intermediary in trade negotiations between House Fortom and a Lominsan consortium. During said negotiations, an opportunity to send word to the Admiral presented itself, and I duly seized it. I am happy to report that we have yet a stout ally in Limsa. The Admiral has pledged her full cooperation in any effort to rescue Ralban. Accordingly, I have agreed to meet with her, that we might discuss how best to proceed. Naturally, I told her to expect us both. Your presence never fails to embolden our allies, after all. When you arrive in Limsa Lominsa, make yourself known to Sergeant Xanthiel at Bulwark Hall on the lower decks. He will admit you to the bridge. So we're gonna step out of the cold of Ishgard for a while, and head on back to Limsa Lominsa. Ah, Xanthiel, there you are. The Admiral's been expecting you. Say the word and I will take you to her. Okay. The word. I'll see myself out.
Friends, 'tis good to see you safe and well. I will admit I had not counted on you seeking, let alone finding refuge within the Holy See, but full glad was I to learn that you had.
Yeah, I'm sure you were all happy that you didn't have to shelter us. Would have been awful inconvenient for you, I'll bet.
Thankfully, we had allies there who took us under their wing. And theirs was not the only aid we receive, I suspect. When we fled Ul'dah, we fully expected to become wanted men, known to all and hounded at every turn. Yet that did not come to pass. On the contrary, 'twould seem the charges against us have not been made public. Might we have you to thank for that, Admiral?
And maybe she's done more than we think.
Sharp as ever, Master Alphinaud. On Marshal Terrapin's urging, the Elder Seed Seer and I demanded that the Syndicate suppress news of the Scion's alleged crimes until such time as irrefutable evidence could be found. Our argument was simple. Lacking proof, to accuse the saviors of the realm of so unlikely a crime would have the people up in arms. In their wisdom, the Syndicate agreed, as you yourself have seen. There is something you should know. Some few days prior to the banquet, the Elder Seed Seer and I were summoned for a private audience with the Sultana. There, she revealed her intent to announce her abdication, that she might pave the way for the establishment of an Ul'dah Republic.
What? But such an announcement would have plunged the entire nation into chaos.
She was well aware of that. 'Twas for fear of what might ensue that she summoned us. Her Grace wanted the Elder Seed Seer and I to lend Ralban a helping hand, you see? To aid him in preserving the peace during the transition.
And the Syndicate didn't like that.
So, having somehow caught wind of her plan, Lolorito and Teleji plotted the Sultana's assassination in the hope of maintaining the constitutional status quo. But they must have known that her death would sow as much chaos as her abdication. Chaos from which Teleji alone might feasibly stand to profit. Surely Lolorito would never knowingly... Ah, could it be? I dare not hope.
The Ul'dah authorities have yet to announce the Sultana's passing. To allay any suspicion that may arise from Her Grace's absence, they have issued a statement to the effect that she is presently convalescing from illness.
Mayhap they're waiting for a fitting moment to break the news. Or mayhap they know of some other reason to delay.
Something else has been bothering me, Admiral. I was dismayed to learn that General Ralban is to be executed. Yet upon hearing the news, I could not help but wonder why he had been kept alive for so long. Pray mistake not my meaning. I am, of course, overjoyed that our friend still draws breath, and that he might yet be saved. But if his enemies truly wish to eliminate him, they could have done so immediately. I see no reason for this delay.
Aye, you've struck upon an important point, Master Alphinaud. Following his capture, Rauban had been held in the Marasaja pit within Uldar. In recent days, however, he has reportedly been moved to an unknown location. Queerly, 'twas not the brass blades who spirited him away either, but a band of soldiers decked in blue.
Oh, it's the traitors.
The Crystal Braves.
You could hear the venom in his voice there.
Aye. If I read the winds aright, the arrangement between Lord Lolorito and the Braves has come under strain. At any rate, if we're to rescue Rauban, we'll have to find him first. And you'll be glad to hear that I have already entrusted the task to those best able to see it done. Our friends of Doma.
Yeah, there went the voice acting. Rauban's survival is vital to the Eorzean Alliance. We can ill afford to lose him. But I cannot send troops into Uldar. 'Twould spell the end of the Alliance, and war like as not. If there is to be a rescue, it falls to you and yours to attempt it. I would not have it any other way, Admiral. It was I who founded the Crystal Braves, and I who must take responsibility for their actions. Spoken like a true leader, Master Alphinaud. By way of a first step, you should seek out our Doman contact. You will find her among the frontier hands at Revenant's Toll working in a kitchen. Revenant's Toll. We're not going to find many friends there, I'm sure. But we have to go. Well, we haven't been back here in a while. And for good reason, too. Look, this place is still swimming in traitors who we can speak to. You have some nerve showing your face here, traitor. I ought to haul you in for your crimes, and I would expect you'd doubtless put up a fight, and I've been ordered not to bring conflict into town. Our priority is to protect the people, and we can't risk innocent bystanders getting hurt. If I were to find you anywhere else, though, you'll not find me so lenient. Consider yourself warned. So in other words, he doesn't want to fight us because we knew he knows that we'd murder him. I'd like to kill him right now, honestly. Now, where is our Doman friend? In here? Yes. Hey, Gary. And Alphinaud. Could she be the Doman contact of whom the Admiral spoke? I mean, we know her specifically. Mistress Foxy, I knew in my heart that you were safe, but to see you again in the flesh, words cannot express my relief. Even as the victory feast was taking place, the Crystal Braves turned on us and took the Rising Stones by force. Amid the chaos, some few of my compatriots and I were able to slip away unnoticed. Since then, we've remained in Revenant's Toll, keeping watch over the mutineers while awaiting your return. You have done well by us, and we Domans do not soon forget our debts. We swear to do all within our power to aid you. How about we take back Revenant's Toll? Kill some traitors while we're at it. Shortly before you arrived, I received word from Limsa that you were searching for General Rauban. As the Admiral will have informed you, he was recently moved from his cell in the Marasaja pit. At the same juncture, Yuyuhase and the 3rd Unit were observed leaving the Rising Stones. This can be no simple coincidence. Their purpose, we believe, is to escort the Flame General to the scene of his execution. Suffice it to say, we have people shadowing the 3rd. If you would join the hunt, pray seek out Daware at Highbridge, where I too am bound. Let's go save Rauban. Oh yes, and I'm sure some of you will be wondering what the Black Chocobo looks like. It's... well, it's fancy. It's fancy as fuck. I love it. Anyway, here's our friend Daware. Yuyuhase. The mere mention of the name calls to mind the moment I felt the kiss of cold steel against my neck. That's right. It has been a while since last I wore this garb. Since I came to Revenant's Toll, my days have been spent in the kitchens. Fear not, however, though I have learned to wield a skillet, I have not forgotten the use of a dagger. Very good, you're gonna need it. I've been expecting you. Time is of the essence, so I shall be direct. Iyuhase and his men are bound for Halatali. We believe that this is where they intend to carry out the execution. Hozan is presently keeping watch over the entrance. Let us make haste and join them. Halatali, the old Brass Blades training ground. Or was it the Sultan Sworn? I forget. Kind of a fitting place for an execution, I suppose. Oh wait, didn't they train gladiators there? Yeah, that's right, so it's even more fitting. You come at a good time, my friends. But moments ago, the traitor Ilbert arrived and entered Halatali. Oh, that bastard. From this, we may be certain that General Rauban is being held within. There is no time to lose. General Alden may be executed at any moment. You must enter Halatali and free him from his captors. Please see to your own preparations and tell me when you're ready to proceed. One of our own will accompany you inside. Oh, I'm ready. I am ready to kill some traitors. And also save Rauban, but definitely to kill some traitors. Especially Iyuhase. And Laurentius. That bastard. We gave him a second chance. Yugiri!
Pray, forgive me my lateness.
Lady Yugiri!
Master Alphinaud, I am pleased to see that the light of resolve shines in your eyes once more.
Ah, yes. How pathetic I must have seemed to you when we last met. I am ashamed to record it. For a time, I was well and truly lost. But with the aid of my comrades, I have since refound my purpose, and I shall take care not to misplace it again.
Since your escape from Ul'dah, my fellow shinobi and I have shadowed the Crystal Braves every step, in hopes of learning the Scion's whereabouts. Regrettably, our investigation has yet to yield any useful information. Pray, forgive us.
You need not apologize, my lady. We are grateful for all that you have done on our behalf. Besides, Rauban is no less a friend, and we cannot well abandon him to his fate.
Hozan, the three of us shall attend to the Flame General's rescue. Pray, draw away the guards by the entrance. Take Dowade and Higiri with you. With me!
I mean, they could just kill the guards outside. They're shinobi. They could probably kill them 5 times before they hit the ground. Here we go. Not a soul from the Colosseum to be seen. This bodes ill. Let's go, guys. Ah, here's some traitors.
Away with you!
I hope you bastards don't think I'm here to take prisoners. No. Enemies can be taken captive. Traitors get put down. Oh, this music is so good. Oh yeah, I want to kill the Conjurer first.
Leave this to me!
What a waste. We trained you guys so well, only for you to betray us. The Braves could have been a real force for good. And so easily, too. That's what really gets me. They could have so easily been so good. And yet... What's this now? It's Raban. There's some kind of barrier. I mislike the look of this. Yeah, I agree. You came. Of course we came, Raban. Some kind of Magitech force field? He is bound by some manner of Magitech device. I dare not force it open. It may well be booby-trapped. Good point. I have heard of such devices. The Crystal Braves will likely possess the key. Let us split up to look for it. That will not be necessary. Oh, it's you. Pray do not take it personally, my friends. You are the victims of harsh economic conditions. Happily, you will not suffer for long. This poison will convey you swiftly unto the bosom of Thal, where I hope to join you after the passing of many prosperous years. Damn it, he's too cute for a traitor. Oh god, he's using poison on us. Force the gate. By that you mean chop it into pieces. Beasts? Oh dear. Raban is not doing too well. Oh good, Yugiri killed that one. These aren't really beasts, they're just blobs. Alright. The way is clear. The mist remains. We must stop it at the source. I shall tend to the general. Pray see to the mist and the key. The Braves have the key. There's nothing here. Alright, let's find the source of this mist. Alphinaud seems to know where to go. Ah, I see something up there. It's been a long time since I've done this mission. Here's the thing. Break it. Break the fucker. Ah, good. It's broken. That takes care of the mist. Next, to find the key and free Raban. This place opened up and I see some more assholes to kill. Yes, group all together so I can hit you with my AoEs. Well, I didn't hit the one. Oh well. Why am I attacking the Lancer? I should be killing the Conjurer first. Oh, poor Archer, all alone, just dying. This is what happens to traitors, especially ones who don't back down when all their friends are dead. What a noise. Nice. What a noise. Not this way? Oh, there's a key. The key. Take it to Roban. I know what to do. Alright, let's turn this toaster off. There we go. My thanks. Ugh. Slowly, General, you get weak from your ordeal. Nevertheless, we must quit this place. I should have known. What are clever contrivances to the Warrior of Light? Well done, hero. Oh, it's the Traitor-in-Chief. And his two lackeys, Laurentius and Uyuhase. Ilberd. You mean to struggle on, then? Very well. If you would stand in my way, I will cut you down like all the rest. Come, scions, let's get this over with. Oh yes, let's please. Sultana's assassins are here. Crystal Braves, to me! Oh boy, here we go. Roban really can't fight. But that's fine.
I have you now.
No, you really don't.
It is nothing.
I'm not finished yet.
Alphinaud, you really need to heal yourself, buddy. Where you going?
I'll tear you limb from limb.
Really, I should be killing that Conjurer, but Ilberd's going down like a bitch. So is Uyuhase, for that matter.
This changes nothing.
Well, it changes one thing.
It is over, Ilberd.
Roban's
Lay down
alive.
your arms and surrender yourself to justice.
Justice? Justice for what exactly? 'Twas not I who assassinated the Sultana, boy.
You flat out admitted to Roban that it was you.
Ere we debate who is responsible for the assassination, I would ask whether an assassination took place at all.
Oh, clever little shite. If you think you fight for justice, lass, you best wake up. The truth is, you fight for whoever bloody well tells you to. Can you not see you're being used by the Scions, the City-States, even the Crystal Braves?
They none of them care a whit what you want. Only what you can do for them. And how do I know this? Because I'm the same. A pawn to be used as my masters see fit. All I ever wanted was to liberate my homeland. And I ate dirt to make it happen. But what have I achieved after all these years in servitude? Nothing. Not a bloody thing! If we ourselves are not free to think and to act, how are we ever to reclaim our homeland? Know this. There is nothing I would not give to take back Alamigo. Nothing!
You'll not get away!
No, Master Alphinaud. Now is not the time.
No, it is. It's totally the time. Oh, whatever.
I'm but a cripple and a fool. And still you came for me. I'm in your debt.
We are all of us fools of fate, General. But even fools have a part to play.
On your feet, gladiator. This fight is not over.
Rest assured, I was not planning to die till I'd avenged the Sultana. Still, your words are welcome, lass. Know this, Ilberd. There is nothing I would not give to see you pay for what you've done. My wealth, my arm, my life. Nothing.
Well, you've already given one of those things.
General, are you aware that Lord Lolorito has yet to announce the Sultana's death to the public?
What? No. No, I was not aware of that, nor of anything else outside my cell. 'Tis passing strange, though. I assumed the bastard would make it known at the first opportunity, and set about tearing down the Sultanate.
As did we all. And it is indeed strange that he did not. Strange, or perhaps revealing. Now, I have no conclusive proof, nor do I wish to give you false hope, but I have reason to believe that Her Grace may yet live.
What? But how can that be?
Forgive me, friends, but it is not safe here. Let us continue this conversation without.
Seems pretty safe to me. The rest of the traitors have fled. The general is safe. What news without? My lady, the guards have been subdued as per your command. We have since kept watch over the entrance. There has been no further activity. Then Ilberd and his minions have fled via some other egress. Scour the perimeter for signs of their passing. At once, my lady. General Aldin, I presume, and the scions of the Seventh Dawn. Who's this guy? Who are you? Identify yourself. Pray, do not be alarmed. My mistress is a friend, and I come bearing a message of goodwill. For your own safety, she bade me direct your steps to the Waking Sands. Know that Master Urianger awaits you there, along with others sympathetic to your cause. This is no ruse, I assure you. General Aldin, if you will come with me, I had prepared a carriage that you may travel in comfort, safe from prying eyes. Maybe Yugiri should go with him. So who's this benefactor? I have spoken with Urianger via link pearl. He confirms the man's story. Raubahn is in safe hands. Let us make our way to Vesper Bay. Come on down to the Waking Sands again. At least we can fly there now. So much faster. Alright. Inside. Inside.
My dearest friends, praise be unto the 12 for delivering you from the clutches of treachery.
Father!
Pippin! My son! And Master Papashan besides!
Papashan wouldn't
me, Father.
abandon
I
us.
should have been at Her Grace's side.
Save your tears. The Sultana yet lives.
You!
It was I who arranged this gathering. And judging by your perplexed expressions, it would seem introductions are in order. I am Dulala, head of the Order of Noldthor, and member of the Syndicate.
We've seen her at some of those meetings in Ul'dah.
What you said about the Sultana, is it true? Is she alive?
Young lady, I understand you were with the Sultana when she drank from the poisoned goblet and collapsed. Would I be correct in assuming that you did not personally verify Her Grace's vital signs?
Yeah, we didn't really have time.
Ask when she's playing, you know the answer.
Calm yourself, General, and let me finish. The truth is not as you imagine it. You are all victims of a most ingenious ruse. A ruse conceived to eliminate the threat posed by Teleji Adeleji. 'Tis my belief that Teleji plotted the Sultana's assassination alone, but that Lolorito caught wind of his plot and exploited it to his own ends. He sought to manipulate you into eliminating Teleji for him, and you duly obliged. At one fell swoop, he removed his two foremost rivals, all the while remaining above suspicion.
God strike me down for a fool. But the Sultana, how can it be that she lives?
She lives because Lolorito willed it. Her own lady-in-waiting is but one of his many little birds. By her sleight of hand, the poison was switched for a less deadly draught before it could reach her mistress's lips.
Some manner of sedative, perchance, of a potency sufficient to induce a slumber like unto death.
Were I to guess, I would say Her Grace is being held somewhere, dreaming dreams of a brighter Ul'dah, even as we speak.
Oh, Nanamo. I will never forgive Lolorito for his part in this.
Though Lolorito's hands are far from clean, they did pluck Her Grace from the jaws of death. And
shit,
though
I
one
didn't
may
mean to
call
skip
the
that
man's
part.
methods into question, it cannot be denied that he knows the value of stability, to the very gill, like as not. He craves power, 'tis true, but he has no desire to depose the Sultana. I had never taken sides in your feud with the monetarists, but it was not for want of concern for our nation's welfare. Indeed, 'twas out of the desire to see order restored that I furnished your Far Eastern friends with information, and arranged this gathering. I hope you are ready to work, General, for there is much work to be done. Our first priority must be to bring matters back into balance. Lest you forget Her Grace's words, the true wealth of Ul'dah lies in the health, happiness, and hopes of her people. As for the more worldly kind of wealth, I am content to let Lolorito help himself to whatever Teledji Adeledji left behind. You, meanwhile, must do that which you alone can do. Rescue Her Grace, and take your place at her side once more, for her sake, and that of our nation.
So we were all tricked. Lolorito's hand was in all of our cups, basically. Is that the saying? His hand was in whatever. He was pulling the strings the whole time, basically. I had not counted on Prioress Dulala herself appearing. In my defense, my suspicion regarding the Sultana proved more prescient. Much remains to be done, but in rescuing Raoban, we have taken a vital first step towards resolving matters in Ul'dah. We couldn't have done it without you, Foxy. Thank you. What is all this? A ring? This one. I don't know if that's right, but I'm taking it. Our first new piece of gear. Tataru, yes, General Raoban is now in safe hands. What? Another assault? Very well, we shall return at once. Pray notify the Count of our coming. It would seem we face another crisis. The Dravanians are preparing to resume their siege of the Holy See. Though I am loath to abandon the Sultana to her fate, we lack the necessary evidence to act upon Dulala's claims. That being the case, I propose we leave Marshal Terrapin and the others to investigate and return with all haste to Ishgard. Indeed, we can't let our new friends get killed by the dragons out there. Back to the snow, then. Ah, so chilly, so cold. It's even been cold in Florida, where I live. Let us hear what the Count has to say. Indeed, Tataru. Ah, there you are. Sorry for cutting your reunion with General Raoban short. I wouldn't have bothered you, but the city's awash with rumors of another Dravanian attack, and Lord Oshafont was desperate to get hold of you. Speaking of whom, he and the others are waiting for you inside, so you'd better head in. Well, you two come in too. It's cold out here. Especially you, Tataru. You're so thin. And come to think of it, so is Alphinaud. Guy's got, like, not an ounce of fat below his neck. My friend, I thank you for answering our call with such alacrity. As I am sure you are now aware, the Dravanians are once more gathering for war. Mistress Games, Master Leviure, I must apologize for this abrupt summons. We thought it best to have Mistress Tataru contact you by the most direct means available. When the Observatorium's bells toll, 'tis a warning that cannot be ignored. The Holy See has ordered that we make ready for battle. In case you haven't heard, a band of trappers returning from the west claim they saw a cloud of dragons big enough to dim the midday sky. Nidhogg's minions gather once more for war. But I would not have you take up arms in another of our conflicts. When first you came to Ishgard, I offered you my protection. If I cannot ensure your safety here, I cannot well accept your aid, much less ask for it. The Scions of the Seventh Dawn, you are faced with a choice, to remain in a besieged Ishgard or seek sanctuary elsewhere. I would not presume to influence your decision, but I must ask that you make it swiftly, lest our enemies force your hand. We're not going to abandon you. How many dragons would it take to darken the midday sky, do you think? 1,000? More? Too many, at any rate. I confess, I know not where else you might seek sanctuary, but a few places are likely to be more perilous than a city under siege. The coming of the Horde spells ruin for Ishgard, but her knights shall fight to the last to shield her citizens from harm. The Observatorium bells have tolled. Either flee this place or make ready for war. I think the choice is obvious. What will become of this place? And us? though we flee to the ends of the world, 'twould seem that no place in this troubled age is free of strife. Once more the horde descends upon Ishgard, and once more her weary defenders must take up spear and bow. The Count would have us seek shelter from this storm, but I for one grow tired of running. If we are to shine the light of dawn, we must do so in the sight of our fellow man, not hunkered in a hole. Agreed. What say you, Foxy? I would stay and fight. Then fight we shall. Let it never be said that we abandon our allies in their hour of need. I do wonder what happens if you, or what they say, if you choose to leave. Or mention leaving. You fucking coward. The choice we make this day may have grave implications for our order. It is only right that Tataru should have a say. Come, let us all meet outside and discuss the path that lays before us. I mean, we could talk here. You know, Lord Orshfon's not gonna judge us.
Ishgard cannot well endure another assault. Even should her knights succeed in turning back the horde, the casualties will be catastrophic.
But what other choice do we have? It's not like we can talk it over with them. Dragons and men aren't exactly on speaking terms.
With certain notable exceptions.
You don't mean Iceheart?
When last you spoke with her, she lamented her crimes, did she not? Then there remains a sliver of hope. If we can persuade Iceheart to act as our intermediary, we may yet be able to convince Nidhogg to abandon his bloody course.
If there is to be a meeting, I would accompany you.
Estinien.
Even with your intermediary, Nidhogg's blood rage may render him deaf to reason. However, the mere attempt may afford our forces precious time to prepare. Of course, you might also consider a more direct approach to ending this conflict. With the power of the Eye at my disposal, and the vaunted strength of the Warrior of Light, we could conceivably slay the beast outright.
If we are to risk a face-to-face meeting with the Dread Worm, I for one would feel safer in the company of the Azure Dragoon. However, I should only turn to your alarms if my words failed to find their mark. Is that clear?
Perfectly. I shall assume that Iceheart enjoys similar diplomatic protection until instructed otherwise. A word of advice. Think carefully before divulging the particulars of this plan to Sir Emeric. 'Twould not do to have the Lord Commander accused of consorting with heretics.
Yes, no matter how good our intentions are, any thought of talking to dragons is like to prick that particular wound that the Ishgardians have nursed for generations.
Indeed. I thank you for your counsel, Estinien. We shall be honored to have you with us.
I am glad to be of service.
He's so good. He doesn't talk too much, but he's good. We love Estinien here. We have chosen a difficult road, yet even should we succeed in winning Iceheart to our cause, our plans for parley will swiftly come to naught should the Holy See decide to strike first against the Horde. We must petition the Lord Commander's aid ere we set forth. I only hope that Sir Emeric will be willing to muzzle Ishgard's forces on the strength of our vague assurances. Tataru, I will ask that you remain at Fort Tom Manor and inform the Count of our decision. Tell him that the Scions of the Seventh Dawn mean to do all in their power to ensure that Ishgard and her people survive. Yes, sir. Off to find Lady Iceheart, then. But first, we need to talk to our good friend Sir Emeric. Ah. You would speak with the Lord Commander? Pray make it quick. Of course. We have to get underway, after all.
I want the defenses of the outer ward rechecked. See to it that the ballistas are in good repair and supplied with enough ammunition for a prolonged siege.
At once, my lord.
Ah, 'twould seem I have visitors. And unlike those massing beyond our walls, these ones are welcome.
Pray forgive us for interrupting you in the midst of your preparations, Sir Emmerich, but our suit concerns the impending assault. To speak plain, we believe there is a chance the invasion might be halted before it even begins. I can divulge little more at this time, but I must nevertheless request that you advise the Holy See to refrain from launching any preemptive sorties whilst we seek to put our plans in motion.
I will gladly lend my support to any endeavor that could spare the blood of my countrymen, but I would know more of the cause you would have me champion. Will you not share aught of this mysterious undertaking?
Know that I have offered my lance to aid in this endeavor. I cannot claim that its success is assured, but our actions should serve to delay Nidhogg's advance at the very least. Which is more than can be said for the ill-conceived counterattack advocated by the seasonal vocal crusaders. They offer glorious death, but little hope of victory.
Aye, their proposal does not inspire confidence. Our resources should rightly be spent shoring up the city's defenses. The Azure Dragoon and the Warrior of Light sallying forth together to face the dread worm Nidhogg. I must admit the mere thought of it does much to dispel my misgivings. Go then, carry out your plan. I shall do what I can for you within the Holy See.
Sir Emmerich trusts us to get the job done, even if we aren't being completely open with him. It's nice to have friends in high places sometimes. I will say this for your plan, it has made keeping secrets from the Holy See seem almost entertaining, hasn't it? Having secured Sir Emmerich's support, we may proceed without fear of a preemptive Ishgardian attack, which is not to say we can afford to dither. History tells us that the Dravanians will attack as soon as their horde reaches a critical size. Before that happens, we must needs track down and win over the Lady Iceheart, and then locate and parley with Nidhogg. In short, time is against us. If you are ready, Estinien, let us be about our task. Let's get underway.
Such commotion.
Yes, Your Eminence. The bells of the Observatorium warn of our enemy's approach.
So, the dragons are coming. Let them come, in their hundreds and their thousands. With the divine blade in our hands, we shall rend their flesh and drown the heretics in their master's blood. Even Nidhogg and his foul brood shall be powerless to resist us. And when we have rid the world of their pestilence, we shall turn our attention to our Ascian allies. See that they are suitably rewarded for their invaluable assistance.
If I may, Your Eminence, the Paragons wield powers strange and unknowable. Can we be certain that they will not see through our deception?
We can be certain of naught save the righteousness of our cause. If you would be a true leader of men, you must possess conviction as well as caution. We seek to excise the root of an evil that has blighted us for 1,000 years. The risk is worth the reward.
And what of Estinien and this Warrior of Light? They have plans of their own.
Leave them to their purpose. We must each play the role we have been given. You and your chosen brothers most of all.
For the glory of King Thordan.
Interesting. Why did his voice go all demonic? There are many sides at play here. Also, I've leveled up. No new abilities. Not yet, at least. Before we set forth, we must needs inform Tataru of our plans. And I shall await you at St. Raynet's Forum. Tell your friend we may be some time. The road you have chosen is neither short nor easy. Of that, I need no reminding. Come, Foxy, let us head back to Fort Tom Manor. Indeed. Our course is set, Tataru. It may be some time before Foxy and I return to Ishgard. Well, just you be careful, alright? Oh, and don't worry about me. I'll be busy listening out for the news of our lost friends. If anyone can find them, it is you, Tataru. Farewell for now. Oh, before you go, you must put this on, Alphinaud. I made it specially. A new outfit. No, I couldn't possibly... Very well. Wow, that actually looks really nice. By the 12, it fits perfectly. And the quality is actually rather good. I'm glad you like it. I've been practicing my needlework while I listen to rumors and the like. A good receptionist is always learning new skills. My thanks, Tataru. Whatever else awaits me upon the road, I shall not fear the cold. 'Twas the least I could do. Now I must be getting back to the tavern, or I'll never catch up with all the gossip. Best of luck on your journey. She's so good. Alrighty, Estinien. We're ready. This new attire will serve me well in the bitter cold of Kurthus. I shall have to thank Tataru properly upon our return. You have said your farewells, then? Aye, we are ready to depart. I suggest we begin our search for Lady Iceheart without delay. Very well, but she will prove an elusive quarry. Where do you intend to start looking? In the absence of any fresh intelligence on Ysel's movements, I propose we pick up the trail where she was encountered last, the Kurthus Western Highlands. Let us speak with Sir Redwalt, was it? As the commander of Falcon's Nest, it is like that he will know if any heretic activity has been reported in the area. Seems a good place to start. Let's roll out. Alright, and before we go speak with the commander here, we have our first Aether Current... Shut up, computer. We have our first Aether Current quest to grab. If you click this button here, which you can drag out into the menu, it shows Aether Currents for your current areas. Right now there's nothing to show, because we haven't unlocked anywhere. But certain quests will unlock Aether Currents, and if you unlock them all for an area, you'll be able to fly there. So let's see what we can do for Ingrid over here. Do you have a moment to talk? A short while ago, one of my workers from House Zemael asked me to go and deal with some Mylodons that have been causing trouble. The Black Iron Bridge barely survived the calamity. It's in desperate need of repairs, but the upland Mylodons roamed far too close to it. The craftsmen can't work safely. Someone needs to kill them. The Mylodons, that is, not the craftsmen. I'd ask the Dragoons to do it, but they're so busy it'd be weeks before they found the time. I'd do it myself, but there are so many of the beasts that I fear I'd be swarmed and outnumbered. You're a capable woman. Would you be so kind as to thin them out somewhat? If you were to kill, say, 3 of them, I think I'd be able to finish off the rest myself. Only 3? There must not be that many then. Now this quest is quite out of the way, so we are going to continue with the main story in the meantime. Our adventures should take us out that way, I believe. Sir Redwald. Well, well, Mistress Games, what brings you back to Falcon's Nest? Judging by the company you keep, it can be no trifling matter. The Azure Dragoon I know, of course, but I do not believe I have met this young gentleman. Alphinaud Leveilleur, at your service, and you are not mistaken as to the gravity of our mission, Sir Redwald. As I am sure you are aware, the Observatorium has warned that the Dravanians gather for another attack. I believe there may yet be a way to avert the coming conflict, but only if we can find the elusive Lady Iceheart. Thus, we have come to Falcon's Nest in the hope of acquiring the latest intelligence on the heretics' movements. I see. Then you would be best served by speaking directly to my men. The patrol is due to return from its sweep of the surrounding lands at any moment. You may also wish to question the knights assigned to pick over the remains of the heretic refuge at Gorgani Mills? 'Tis possible that they have unearthed information that could be of use to you. Mistress Games knows well the place I speak of, for it was she who first discovered it. Let us divide our forces, then. I will stay and await the return of the patrol, while the 2 of you visit this refuge. When I have completed my inquiries, I will join you there. A wise use of our time. Come, Foxy, I am eager to learn what Sir Redwald's men have found in the heretic's lair. You all remember that place, right? The place where we trudged halfway across the fucking continent and found a bunch of heretics, and then Iceheart was there, but she also fucked off. Either way, it takes us straight through the path of where we're going to find our first ether current. Oh, and by the way, speaking of ether currents, they're not just quests that unlock them. You also find them out in the world as well. There's a certain number that you have to find out in the world, and a certain number that you find via quests. Here's one right now. All you have to do is walk up and click on it. There we go. And now, opening up your ether compass, or ether current list rather, you will see, well, it doesn't quite show where they are. It just opens a map of the area. But there are a whole bunch that you find out in the world, and only about 5 that you get through quests in this area. We also have an item called an ether compass. If you do this, it'll tell you approximately where the next one is, which is great. Now, finding all of the ether currents is not always easy. In fact, sometimes it's a right pain in the ass. Especially when you have these stupid deer things after you. Now, there are mods you can install that show you the exact location. Square Enix doesn't particularly like mods in their games. They won't ban you outright for having certain ones. It's mostly a don't ask, don't tell kind of situation. It's not like World of Warcraft, where mods are kind of just a greater part of the game that are accepted. Square Enix prefers its game to be accessible straight off the bat, which it mostly is, I have to say. I don't feel like I need deadly boss mods to understand some of the mechanics in the game. I don't feel like I need a DPS meter, though some people use them anyway. I'm not particularly fond of that idea myself. By the way, I'm not going to go through the whole arduous process of gaining all of the ether currents on camera. There are a lot of YouTube videos out there that will show you where to find them. This is a playthrough. It's not a, oh, there's a fate here too. Well, we're not going to do the fate. I don't feel like it. This is a playthrough. It's not really a guide for where to find shit. Come on. And our chocobo will come out to join the fray. It's been a while since we've had Ludos come out to play. There we go. Only 2 more of these things to kill. And then we can continue on with the main quest. I know I've gushed about the music here before, but isn't it just beautiful? Heavensward is like, I know I've said this before too, but Heavensward is like the major high point for this part of the game. I don't want to temper anybody's expectations, but I particularly did not enjoy Stormblood as much as Heavensward. It has its great moments, that much is for certain. I just feel like it fell short of this expansion's punchiness. You're gonna learn all about that as we go on, believe you me. Alright, all the Mylodons are dead. The good thing about the ether currents is that you usually wind up finding them as you follow along the main story. They're generally in that path. Some of them you have to go a bit out of the way for, but not a lot of them, I find. At least for this content. Stormblood was a bit more of a pain. Alright, here we are back at that old house. I'm gonna go and grab this current. Yeah, that wasn't so hard. Lovely. What do you have to say, Alphinaud? Just a simple farmhouse. It makes one wonder what other innocent facades the heretics have chosen to hide behind. Indeed. Mistress Games. Our findings, you say? Well, there is something of a tale there. No sooner had we chanced upon a promising-looking sheaf of letters than we were ambushed from the shadows by great white beasts. 'Twould seem the heretics foresaw our coming and left behind their pets to discourage further investigations. Several of our number were badly wounded. And you cannot carry out your duties until the creatures are slain. We have not the time to wait for reinforcements. Let us deal with these pets ourselves, Foxy. I agree. Let's have some fun while we're out here. Let's head on inside. Oh. Oh dear. The creature took me by surprise. Forgive me. Until my hand stops shaking, I fear I shall prove more a hindrance than a help. Pray go on ahead, and when you are certain that the rest of these things have been slain, notify the expedition leader that it is safe to return. Oh, Alphinaud, you've been in so many battles. Don't tell me you're losing your heart now. God, they're just polar bears. They're animals. I mean, they're big, sure, and I wouldn't want to fuck with a polar bear in real life. But come on, man. Oh well. He's a healer. He's not really meant to fight, I suppose. You good? I heard a frightful growling from below. You encountered more of the beasts, I take it? Oh yeah, they're cadaverific, don't worry about it. Estinien's here. My inquiries have availed me naught. The patrol leader had little to say beyond which of his extremities the frost had bitten the hardest. Oh well. The beasts are slain then? My thanks, Mistress Games. We may return to our duty without fear of a mauling. Indeed. We gotta wind up Alphinaud for reasons. You wish to track down Lady Iceheart, is that not so? The records we discovered ere the beasts mauled my comrades appeared to be some manner of correspondence. We had not the luxury of perusing their contents more closely, intent as we were on surviving an onslaught of fang and claw, but I'd wager those epistles contain more than friendly salutations betwixt lonely heretics. My interrogation of the patrol proved fruitless. Either we divine some clue from these letters, or we wander the snowfields and pray that the gods lead us right to Iceheart's door. 'Tis hardly a choice at all. Yeah, let's go read those letters. Now, where oh where are said letters? Downstairs? At least it's probably warmer down here. I have found some few of these letters. Let us gather a respectable stack and see what secrets the expedition captain can wring from the collected correspondence. Ah, the letters were in a neat pile just here, but 'twould seem the skirmish with the beasts has scattered them rather thoroughly. Where are these damnable pages? I'd rather battle 2 Avis than continue this confounded search. You and me both. Well, here's one. Here's another. Where's the third? I'll bet you it's upstairs. Oh, look, it is. Stuck here in whatever horse shit is left in this place. Chocobo shit, whatever. Have you recovered much of the heretics' correspondence? Well, I found 3. Splendid. Added to the contributions from Master Leveilleur and Sir Estinien, we now have more than a dozen letters. What have we here, then? Every one of these pages is a record of the dealings betwixt the Gorgani Mills heretics and their fellows at the Alcampha Amphitheater. There are requests for foodstuffs, clothing, and all matters of provisions. Iceheart's followers must yet inhabit the ruins we had thought abandoned. Well, that would have been easy. Determination. Ark-Alpha is taken from the dragon's tongue. It means roughly eternal circle. 'Tis wonder the heretics thought to return to the place. The Alcampha Amphitheater. The very place where you witnessed the manifestation of the primal Shiva, was it not? If that is our destination, the journey will be long indeed. The amphitheater lies on the other side of a treacherous tract of ice and snow that cannot swiftly be crossed. We must place our faith in the Ethernet. As you may recall, our dear friend Moonbrita succeeded in recreating the Alpha beacon after it had been destroyed by Lady Iceheart. At the time, it was assumed that the resultant aetherite would only be temporarily viable, but given the heretics of Gorgani Mills seem to have been in regular contact with their brethren at the amphitheater, I'll wager it still functions. I suggest we make for the aetherite within Snowcloak without delay. Correct me if I'm wrong, Estinien, but in the course of mapping the Snowcloak tunnel system, a passage was discovered leading out into the Western Highlands, was it not? Might it be possible for us to reach the aetherite from this side of the wall? It should. House Durandare posted soldiers at the Western Highlands entrance after the tunnels were cleared, but they will not deny us entry. Oh good, we have a heading. Oh, and she's fighting bears. She's in like a sexy Santa Claus outfit, which I can only approve of, really. Well, we killed the things, Ingaret. You already killed 3 of them. Thank you ever so much. You're not injured, are you? Here, please take this. It's your cut of the fee for the work. Incidentally, did you happen to see the farm on the far side of the bridge? Those Mylodons have made it difficult to access that area, and the bridge has been left to fall apart. After we repair the bridge, one day we might be able to rebuild that farm. Very good. Another ether current. And well, we've got a respectable few, but there's plenty of work to be done. But that'll have to wait. Well, that's a hell of a crevice. Looks like we have to cross over to find it. Or not. Just jump, injure ourselves. That works too. Let's grab this ether current. Do you recall the first time you ventured into these tunnels in search of Lady Iceheart? It seems an age ago, does it not? Back then I still believed myself the commander of the Crystal Braves. It's not your fault, Alphinaud. What ails our young lord? The moment we arrived at this wall, his face took an ashen pallor. Does he fear facing the heretics within their own lair? No, it's more complicated than that, Estinien. Who's this guy? A Delphil. We've begun surveying the warrens from the western entrance, but progress is slow. It would seem not all the rats have left the nest. Oh no, they're in there. Ah, the guests of House Fortom, accompanied by the Azure Dragoon, no less. I cannot imagine what brought you out this far, but you are welcome to enter the tunnels if that is your will. Assuming the Arkampha beacon still functions, we must pray to the 12 it does, we shall arrive at our destination in mere moments. Though I do not expect to be greeted by the primal Shiva, we should nevertheless be prepared for a frosty reception. The heretics are not like to rejoice at the appearance of uninvited guests, particularly ones with our history. Let's hope she's amenable to negotiation. Well, isn't this a familiar sight? An impressive structure. I wonder how many ages it has endured. Mayhap you should ask its occupants. They seem a friendly bunch. Here they come. Dogs of Ishgard! Is it not enough that you banish our beloved saint? Will you not be satisfied until the ice is slick with the last drops of our blood? Stay your weapons. We come under the flag of parley. We wish only to speak with your mistress that we might broker a peace. Do you think us fools, boy? It will take more than honeyed words to earn our trust. You walk with the Dragon Slayer, and we know all too well what he is capable of. My reputation precedes me. They give us little choice. Come, brothers, may dragon's wings bear us to victory. Well, nothing to it but to fight then. Let's take out these, magicians. This music is awesome, by the way. I probably don't have to state the obvious, but it's fucking good. Here comes some more of them. I don't think I don't see you over here healing. Oh, good. Dragons. Imagine dragons. That wasn't funny. I'll see myself out. Take out this mage first. Oh good, there's more. Any healers? Doesn't look like it. Oh, they turned themselves into dragons. Take out the mage. Damn, Estinien. Making me miss playing Dragoon. My main actually was a Dragoon until I picked up Samurai. Oh, he's turned himself into a big chungus of a dragon.
Know your folly.
Focus. Release!
Alphinaud, you're not doing too well over there, buddy. Estinien, how are you doing? Oh, you're fine. And you half killed the other enemies. Goodbye. And good night. They fight like demons. 'Tis death to remain. Fall back, brothers. Retreat to the cinders. Well, you started it. I see no sign of Lady Iceheart. Would that we could have questioned one of them. What would you ask that we do not already know? They make for the cinders, and so must we. Even should an ambush await us, 'tis certain there will be more heretics to question. The cinders, you say? I confess the name is unknown to me. Mayhap you would be so good as to enlighten us, Estinien. I suspect it is the heretics' way of referring to the Dreaming Dragon, an island of sorts, found in the midst of the frozen lake of Ashpool. Some 500 years past, 'tis told that the Azure Dragoon of the Age fought a dragon of titanic proportions. After a savage struggle, the mighty creature was weakened unto the point of death and forced into a magic slumber by an entire chapter of the Holy Sea's sorcerers. Ere long, a rain of ash and cinders did begin to fall upon the sleeping serpent's motionless form, covering the creature at length in a shroud of grey. Of course, a thick layer of ice has since formed on top of it, but you may be sure I speak true. A fascinating tale. We should make haste to find this Ashen Isle. What? You've driven off the heretics? That should certainly ease the minds of our surveyors. Only in a land where war has raged for 1,000 years could enough ash fall to bury a dragon the size of an island. It does seem unbelievable. The Dreaming Dragon lies far to the west. Before we approach the frozen beast, however, there is another place I would visit first. I am told the convictors have set up camp in Twin Pools. Their leader, Jantalo, may have information of use to us. But mayhap you're not familiar with that name either. The convictors are dragon slayers, after a fashion, but I am willing to wager that they encounter their fair share of heretics. If we are indeed walking into a trap, I will learn all there is to know of our foe. A sound suggestion. Let us speak with these convictors, then, and temper our haste with a measure of caution. That's a good idea. We don't want to go running into any blunders. Haste makes waste, after all. And we've seen enough waste. The Crystal Braves being the worst of it. So far, anyway. Hey, 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 looky there. It's an ether current. We're gonna go and puff it a little bit. Just, you know, floof it up, squeeze it. I don't know where I'm going with this. Hello, friends. I see you have an ether current here. Don't mind if I do. Get up there, Chocobo. Get up there. Okay, there we go. Well, well, what do we have here? Hoping to join the esteemed ranks of the convictors, are we? The hard-eyed lass looks promising, but you have a frail look about you, boy. I give you 3 days ere the wilds claims your corpse. I beg your pardon. Be not so quick to judge. I have seen this frail youth fell heretics with a flick of his wrist. And who are you to question my... By the Fury! That armor, that lance, the Azure Dragoon himself graces our camp. Pray forgive my disrespect, sir. I am Jantalo, leader of the Convictors and slayer of dragons. May I ask what winds, fair or foul, carry you into our humble camp? Lady Iceheart, is it? Aye, I know her by reputation, but I'm afraid I've seen naught of her or her people. That said, my own men can be somewhat lax when it comes to making reports. You may wish to question them yourselves. Thank you, we shall. Foxy, Estinien, let us make our way through the camp and see what information there is to be had. Good idea. These guys seem like a rough and tumble kind of sort. And they also have some quests for us. For ether currents, I imagine. Oh yes. I remember you. How could I forget? We just met. You're the lass who was in the Azure Dragoon's company. Since you're here anyway, perhaps you might like to try your hand at a spot of hunting before you depart. See for yourself what life is like for us convictors. The Dravanian horde is stronger than you might expect. Unless you've been at it for years, like I have, I think it prudent to start with something simple and then work your way up to dragons. I suggest rooms. Slay 3 of those and come back here. Consider it a warm-up. Rooms are like slimes. Whatever. How about you? Cowards, all of you! Have you no shame at all? Oh, I beg your... Wait, are you not Mistress Games, honored ward of House Fortom? Praise Halone, surely you will consider my request. Know you of Dusk Vigil, westernmost of the Citadel watchtowers, built to warn of the Horde's approach? 'Twas lost following the calamity, another victim of the snows. Within the ruins lies a priceless treasure which must needs be reclaimed. I thought to enlist the services of these so-called dragon slayers, but it seems their courage is not as boundless as they would have you believe. But you, madam, you are not one to shy away from danger, am I right? No, we're really not. Very good indeed. There is a sculpture of the Fury within the Dusk Vigil's chapel. An ice rondel is set at its helm. I would have you prize it free and deliver it to me. The Vigil is not difficult to find. Simply head north towards Banepool until you come to the gates. Knights may bar your passage, but should you explain who you are, they will grant you leave to enter. Well, odds are we're headed that way anyway. Maybe. There's the one. Now where's the other? Oh, it's up here. Well, let's see what Alphinaud has us doing. Surely one of these people will have encountered heretics while out hunting. Pray speak with as many as you can, Foxy. Oh, so we're just talking. That's fine. Nay, I know of no heretics. Do you honestly expect me to keep track of every Reitmo, Vermont, and Bertinent that wanders in and out of camp? No, but heretics are kind of a big deal, don't you think? Are there any heretics in the area? I have not the faintest idea. Why a heretic could pass under my very nose and I should be none the wiser. I hunt dragons, my dear lady, the big ones. Forever do I scan the skies for signs of my prey. I care not for the miserable creatures that scurry upon the ground. Well, you're less than useful. How about you? Looking for heretics, you say? Why don't you go and bother Puriquit or someone? I have enough trouble keeping these preening fops fed and clothed as it is. 'Tis no business of mine what folk do with themselves out there in the wilds. I'm pretty sure the church would have something to say about that, but it's not my place to judge. Something I could help you with, my lady? Heretics, is it? Well, I've never seen one myself, but that ain't to say I haven't heard a thing or two. We would be grateful for any information you can share with us. The gods know we've gleaned precious little from talking to the rest of these people. If it pleases, my lord, I'm Puriquit, a soldier by trade, though not much of one, if I'm honest. If it weren't for the love of stabbing folk that I took up the spear, see? No, it weren't for the love of stabbing folk. I have read that completely wrong. No, it was by order of Sir Jantelo's father. Still, as long as they keep paying me wages, I ain't fussy as to what they have me do. Not everyone's as patient as me, though. Plenty of lowborn lads who get pressed into service start grumbling before they've seen their second battle. And once they've got to thinking how unfair it all is, it don't take much for the heretics to turn their heads. From what I hear, the simple promise of freedom tends to do it. That may explain how Lady Iceheart was able to expand her following so swiftly. Sad to say, some mates of mine gobbled down the heretics' tripe and asked for seconds. Told me they were off to the Western Highlands to light a signal fire. That's how you let the heretics know you're serious about joining their ranks, apparently. Send up some purple smoke, and the bastards come to you. Is that so? Why then, I am minded to start a fire. Indeed. If we are to lure our foes to our position, then we must find a means of producing a signal of purple hue. As it so happens, I once heard the tale of a trapper who dropped the hide of a woolly yak into his campfire. Aside from the terrible stench, the story also described in detail how the smoke from the smothered flames was tinged a deep violet. You are a monster hunter of some note, are you not, Foxy? It would prove a trifling task for you to procure a number of hides. We may need to burn more than one ere the heretics notice our beacon. Master Alphinaud, you and I shall gather wood for the fire. It will take the both of us to find enough dry fuel in this frozen wasteland. Let us meet again at the Dreaming Dragon with the fruits of our labor. Well, let's go get some stuff to burn, but looks like some people have some stuff for us as well. Want to help out, do you? Well, there's plenty that needs doing, and killing besides. I'm sure you've noticed that dragons aren't the only thing we have to contend with out here. Take the polar bears, for example. They come here looking for an easy meal, drawn by the smell of our cook fires, and then raid our stores. Do you think you could thin their numbers a little? Killing 4 of them or so should suffice. You'll be compensated for your troubles, of course. Sure, we'll kill some bears. Got plenty else to do out here. But it should give us ample opportunity to get some aether currents done. Rooms. Yeah, they look as gross as their name suggests. In fact, I'm pretty sure room is another word for, like, phlegm. I don't know. I'm almost sure it is, though. Judging from the looks of these things, it has to be. Well, might as well kill the yak, it's right here. And we'll go back for the polar bears. Polar bears. Let's murder them. There we go. Polar bears are dead. Now we have only one more side quest to do. It's a bit of a ways away, though. What is this place? It's a dungeon. What's this? A ward of House Fortom wishes to enter the Dusk Vigil? You are aware that the ruins are infested with wild beasts and gods only know what else, are you not? Why, just the other day, one of the convictors claims to have seen a massive winged beast. Not a dragon, mind, but something altogether different. But far be it from me to deny an esteemed personage the opportunity to kill herself in new and exciting ways. Pray go on ahead. Ah, it's a dungeon quest. So, we will be going into the Dusk Vigil. But we're not going to do that in this episode. We've got other shit to do. I decided it would be best to turn these quests in first. Because who knows when we'll be back here. Well, well, you're certainly more reliable than any lordling I've ever met. They've only got eyes for dragons, even though I tell them time and time again that if no one sees those bears, there'll be nary a scrap to eat. But do they listen? I dare say, everyone around here could stand to be a little more like you. Well, I said you'd be compensated, and I'm true to my word. I trust you'll consider this fair remuneration for your efforts. Ah, whatever. Something to eat, sure. Lovely. That person looks cold as fuck. They are shivering. Gentilo, we did some stuff. Slain those rooms already, have you? How did you find them? Did they put up much of a fight? No. Good work, lass. Clearly the Azure Dragoon doesn't travel with mere amateurs. It sounds like these rooms would barely put up enough of a fight to be considered a proper warm-up. You clearly know what you're doing. If you want to try your hand at hunting some dragons, pray speak with me again sometime. Nah, we don't need to, so we're not gonna. See you later, Gentilo. I left Ishgard on a mission of noble purpose, and now here I am, scrabbling for sticks in the snow. How could my hands be at once so numb, yet so sore? This is what happens when you come from a privileged upbringing, Alphinaud. It would seem that collecting firewood is a new experience for Master Alphinaud. His must have been a privileged upbringing. I just said that. Have you the hides we need? Yes. Well, that's very purple. Surprised it's not dissipating in the wind.
Ah, I should have known it would be you.
Hello, Ysel.
Word reached me of a struggle with a small but well-armed band of trespassers. Forgive my comrades their hostility. Few come here uninvited, and fewer still with good intent.
Well, this seems civil.
Now, tell me why you are here.
We wish to stop Nidhogg's attack on Ishgard. Let's be upfront.
So, you seek to stem the Dravanian tide with talk? A romantic notion. If you but knew the truth, the spark which lit the flames of this animosity, you would understand the futility of your quest. Shall I relate it to you? The sordid history my gift has shown me. That which the Holy See has taken such pains to suppress. 'Twas more than a millennium past when an Elezen tribe first sought to claim the lands of Kurthas as its home.
Back when it was still green, before the Calamity.
Unfortunately for them, Kurthas was already home to dragonkind, and they were not inclined to make way for the invaders. Thus did a bloody war begin. A war which might well have rumbled on until one or the other side was exterminated, had it not been for the resolve of a single woman. That woman's name was Shiva. While those around her fought and died, she attempted to parley with the dragons, and in so doing discovered them to be possessed of profound intelligence and reason. The great worm, Hraesvelgar, in particular so enchanted Shiva that she found herself growing to love the creature, whom her people considered a monster. In the eyes of a near-immortal dragon, however, the fleeting life of an Elezen is as that of a freshly cut rose. Scarce has the flower bloomed before it begins to fade and wither. Such melancholy musings plagued Hraesvelgar, who had found in Shiva an unexpected and beloved soulmate. He knew that all too soon, death would snatch her away from him. Unable to bear the thought of their separation, the maid bid the worm consume her, that their spirits might be entwined for eternity. Though loath to perform the deed, Hraesvelgar ultimately gave in to her plea, and soon thereafter the tale of their ill-fated love spread throughout the two warring factions. No more could they raise blade or claw against one another, knowing that the souls of their kin were so inextricably bound. In the days that followed, man and dragon learned to live in harmony, and together built a nation unlike any the world had ever known. For 200 years did this blissful age of peace continue, as it would to this day, had vilest envy not stirred in the hearts of the Elezen. It is said that worms owe their longevity to the boundless reserves of vitality found within their eyes. And 'twas in this belief that a traitorous band of knights deceived their allies of some 2 centuries, and took by force that which they coveted. Nidhogg, he who now stands poised to unleash his wormlings upon Ishgard, was the great dragon who lost an eye to Elezen treachery. And until he prizes it from the hands of the traitor's progeny, no amount of conciliatory words will stay his fury.
You are wrong, Lady Iceheart. Lest you misunderstand, I do not doubt your vision of the past. 'Tis true that Nidhogg greatly desired to reclaim the Eye. Indeed, it was for that very reason that I kept it with me as I roamed the land, attempting to draw him away from the city.
Good gods!
Until recently, Nidhogg seemed unable to resist its allure and pursued me relentlessly. Needless to say, that is no longer the case. Now, it would seem, he has fixed his attention on Ishgard itself, though he knows full well the Eye does not reside there.
You believe he targets the capital for another reason?
I believe reason has all but left him. Through the Eye, I feel much of what Nidhogg feels, and the dragon's thirst for vengeance will not be quenched by aught less than a sea of blood.
Nidhogg is indeed lost to reason, might we not seek an audience with Hraesvelgr instead? He has thus far shown no inclination to aid in the invasion of Ishgard, and may yet welcome our efforts to broker a peace.
You still believe that a peaceable solution can be found? Very well. I will take you to him. Our road will lead us to Dravania, the homeland of dragonkind. There we shall ascend unto the clouds, where Hraesvelgr resides.
Time for a vision. Oh. Not a vision. A sliver of our blessing has returned to us.
Is autumn mist, my friend? I sense the many battles are beginning to take their toll. Rest a while, and should you lose sight of us, Dravania lies beyond the mountains to the west.
Curious. The vestiges of thy mistress's blessing are not as faint as once they were. Thy will to succeed grants thee unusual fortitude. But will it be enough?
Alright, a lot has happened in this episode, a lot of exposition dump. We found out that Nanamo is still alive, we've rescued Relban from execution, and the Crystal Braves responsible for that whole thing are still alive, but we have them on the run, and we've learned the bitter truth about the Dragon Song War and its origin. But that's all the time we have for in this episode. I think in the next one we'll head straight into the Dusk Vigil and get our final ether current for this area so that we can fly. So until then, my name is Foxy Games. I'll see you in the next one. Bye!